Alcohol isn't what you think it is. It's not a harmless drink. It's not just something to take the edge off after a long day or make a night out more fun. It's not even about relaxation or celebration. It's a spiritual sedative, a carefully disguised weapon that has been dulling your intuition, lowering your energetic defenses, and pulling you away from your true self since long before you ever poured your first glass. And the most dangerous part, you've been taught to see it as harmless, even sophisticated. The programming runs so deep you barely notice it. But beneath the smiles, the toasts, and the rituals, alcohol has been altering your frequency in ways you were never meant to experience. This isn't a lecture about morality or health. This is about something far more uncomfortable, something ancient, something hidden, and something most spiritual seekers will never be told, until now. Long before alcohol became a casual fixture in bars, dinner tables, and weekend parties, it was something entirely different. Its roots stretch far back into the hidden corridors of ancient wisdom, where mystics, alchemists, and spiritual initiates understood its true power. The very word alcohol reveals a forgotten truth. Derived from the Arabic term al-kul, it originally referred not to a drink, but to a fine black powder used around the eyes. Yet within the alchemical traditions, the meaning went far deeper. Al-Kul described the process of distillation itself, of drawing the essence, the spirit, out of matter. The alchemists knew that this process wasn't merely physical. It was symbolic of separating the soul from the body, pulling the living essence out of form. That's why, even today, we call alcoholic beverages spirits. It isn't just poetic language. It's a linguistic echo of an ancient understanding. Alcohol extracts the spirit from matter, but when consumed recklessly, it can extract your own spiritual essence too. The ancients didn't take this lightly. Alcohol was treated with both reverence and fear. It was not designed for casual indulgence or idle entertainment. It was a tool of transformation, used carefully within sacred rites, ceremonies, and initiation rituals. Only the initiated, those trained to navigate altered states responsibly, were allowed to work with it. The risk was well known. Misuse could sever one's grounding, unbind the self from its higher centers, and open portals that could not easily be closed. Modern society has forgotten this. Or perhaps more accurately, it has chosen to bury it. Today, alcohol flows freely, stripped of its spiritual context, reduced to a marketing tool dressed up in glamour and sophistication. But its energetic essence remains unchanged. What was once recognized as a volatile substance capable of manipulating the soul has been repackaged as harmless fun. And this ignorance has left us vulnerable in ways most people never imagine. Because alcohol doesn't simply relax your mind or loosen your social anxiety. It doesn't merely give you confidence or make you more fun. Every sip alters your frequency, disturbs your energetic field, and fractures the delicate balance that keeps your spiritual alignment intact. What the ancients warned us about is still happening, but now, without awareness, without respect, and without the protections they once employed. The danger isn't just physical, it's spiritual. And that's precisely why almost no one talks about it. Because to question alcohol isn't just to question a habit, it's to challenge one of the most deeply embedded pillars of cultural. Alcohol has always been more than a beverage. It is an energetic solvent, dissolving not just physical tensions but the barriers that protect your spiritual core. Used in sacred ritual by the initiated, it could open doors to higher states. But when consumed blindly, casually, habitually, it opens doors you may not even know exist. Doors that allow energies, thought forms, and influences to seep into your field. And unlike a hangover, these subtle energetic consequences don't simply fade by morning. What makes alcohol uniquely dangerous is that its harm doesn't come like a storm. It comes softly, subtly, in ways that feel like release. You feel lighter, more open, more social. You laugh louder, talk freer. But behind that temporary euphoria, something more insidious is happening. You're loosening the threads that keep you grounded, weakening the subtle boundaries that guard your intuition, your discernment, your sovereignty. With every drink, Your field becomes just a little more porous, your clarity a little more clouded. And because it feels good in the moment, you don't see the erosion until you've drifted far from where you began. The problem is not that alcohol creates pleasure, it's that it offers you a counterfeit version of the connection you're truly seeking. You believe you're becoming more yourself when you drink, but in reality, you're drifting further from your essence. And the longer you live in that false self, the harder it becomes to even remember what true alignment feels like. This isn't about shame or judgment, it's about awareness. When you understand the true nature of alcohol, you start to see why ancient traditions treated it so carefully. They weren't being puritanical. They were protecting something far more precious than your body. They were protecting your soul. Most people only think of alcohol's effects in terms of what happens to their brain or body. Slurred speech, loss of balance, a foggy mind. But very few consider what's happening underneath those physical symptoms, in the layer of you that's invisible to the eye but central to your being, your energy field. You are not just muscle, bone, and thought. You are vibration, a field of energy in constant motion, radiating, receiving, and interacting with the world around you at every moment. And alcohol alters that field in ways most of us were never taught to recognize. Your energetic field, your aura, your light body, your subtle system, is not some mystical theory. It's the architecture of your spiritual sovereignty. It holds your intuition, your clarity, your higher guidance. It acts as both a receiver and a shield, allowing you to tune into your inner truth while filtering out energies that don't belong to you. When that field is strong, you feel connected, aligned, aware. But when it fractures, when it weakens, you become vulnerable to influences that you may not even recognize as foreign. This is where alcohol operates silently. As you drink, it doesn't just numb your mind. It creates microscopic tears in your energetic structure. These aren't dramatic explosions of energy. They're subtle punctures that slowly compromise the integrity of your field. Your aura becomes porous. Your boundaries soften. Energies that would normally bounce off your field begin to seep in. Thought forms, emotional residues, even parasitic influences that thrive on disconnection find an easier path into your space. And because the process is gradual, most people never see it happening. One of the first symptoms of this energetic weakening is the dulling of intuition. That quiet voice within you, the one that warns, guides, and nudges you toward alignment, becomes harder to hear. You second-guess yourself more often. You feel slightly more reactive, slightly less stable. Over time, that subtle disconnection becomes your new normal, and you mistake it for who you are. But it's not. It's the erosion of clarity masquerading as personality. The energetic disruption isn't uniform. Different aspects of your system are affected in different ways. Your root chakra, linked to survival, physical pleasure, and grounding, becomes overstimulated. You feel more connected to the material, more driven by base desires. Meanwhile, your crown chakra, your bridge to higher consciousness, becomes dulled, blocked, and muted programming. It's to acknowledge that something we've been sold as harmless or even beneficial might actually be pulling us further from the very clarity and connection we seek. Some of what we've uncovered about alcohol's esoteric origins is simply too sensitive to fully share here.